Hello and welcome to Week in One. We're looking back at the week's top stories in the next half hour. I'm Tutuzile Ramela. Two apartheid killers applied for parole this week, opening old wounds for many South Africans. On Friday morning, apartheid-era killer Eugene de Kock was granted parole. The former Vlakpas commander has served over 20 years in prison for 6 murders.
I've noted the progress he is reported to have made to improve his skills whilst in custody, as well as the assistance Mr. de Kock is said to have provided and continues to provide to the Missing Persons Task Team of the National Prosecuting Authority, the NPA. I'm also satisfied that comprehensive consultations with affected families has been done.
After spending 22 years in prison, Eugene de Kock will soon be a free man. We take a look at the life of the man dubbed Prime Evil.
Eugene de Kock joined the police force in the late 1970s, after failing to enlist in the army because of a stutter. He first rose to prominence during the latter stages of the Rhodesian-Bush War, where his actions awarded him the chance to form his own counter-insurgency unit. Kofoot, as it was known, was tasked with combating SWAPO guerrillas during the Namibian War of Independence. The unit became notorious for its high enemy kill rate and atrocities against the local population. In 1984, he was transferred to another counter-insurgency unit named C1, headquartered at the notorious Vlakplaas farm just outside Pretoria. C1 was essentially a death squad, kidnapping anti-apartheid activists and bringing them to the farm, where they'd be tortured for information and often killed. His ability to commit cold-blooded murder with precision earned him the undying respect of those he commanded.
I mean, if he walks into an office, everybody was respecting him. Some guys, I overheard them saying, call him the lion.
1 minute he can act normal, the next minute he's completely insane.
De Kock was convicted of only 6 murders, but it's widely believed he ended the lives of at least 100 people. When he was arrested in 1994, de Kock was found with 88 mortars, 288 hand grenades, 200 anti-personnel mines, and 250 kilograms of explosives. He was ready to turn South Africa into a killing zone. However, de Kock was recognized by the Truth and Reconciliation Commission as the one man who did everything he could to expose the murderous and systematic violence of the apartheid government. And to this day, he believes he was a scapegoat for the politicians and high-level officials from whom he allegedly received all his orders.
Prime Evil was a name given to me. I don't deserve it. All the Prime Evils is walking outside there.
Nicolaas Bauer, Johannesburg.
But a different decision on Clive Derby-Lewis, who organized the murder of Chris Hani in 1993. His application for medical parole on the grounds that he has cancer was denied. The Minister of Justice and Correctional Services raised questions over his medical records and his apparent lack of remorse. Now, while his lawyer is certain to challenge that in court, the decision was welcomed by the SACP, who celebrated the news outside the home of the late Chris Hani.
In 1993, on that autumn morning, this house behind me here in Dawn Park, Boksburg, took center stage again today, with many of the late Chris Hani's friends, former neighbors and comrades and friends coming through to watch the announcement. And I can tell you that it was watched at the home of a veteran journalist who was the first on the scene, Nokolo Grootboom, watched by mainly the leadership of the SACP and the ANC in the area and the region of Ekurhuleni. I can tell you, as the announcement began, there was a sense of tension in the room, but as it became clear which way the decision of the minister was leaning, the relief was palpable.
Other big news this week, the row over the suspension of Hawks boss Anwar Dramat headed to Parliament. Police Minister Ntleko defended his decision to suspend Dramat without following proper procedures. A court ruled last week his suspension of Dramat was unlawful and invalid. But Ntleko is appealing this ruling and has now asked MPs to axe Dramat for his conduct in the rendition of 2 Zimbabweans.
Ntleko wants Dramat removed on grounds of misconduct, saying he's not fit to hold office. The Hawks boss was suspended last December.
My right to suspend was challenged by the Helen Suzman Foundation on the 9th of January 2015, and this matter is currently before court. And that's why when I started the Honorable Chair that I would not necessarily want to delve into the merits and demerits of the case, precisely because it's still an ongoing matter and we have appealed.
But opposition parties weren't swayed by Ntleko's proposal. They accuse him of acting unlawfully and of political interference.
The suspension, which may yet be affirmed to be illegal, may well leave us as a committee with a police minister who has been found to have committed 2 illegal acts. And I put it to you, Minister, in that eventuality, will you tender your resignation?
I want to ask the Honourable Minister to stop any further action because they're going to lose on these principles and wasting taxpayers' money.
The minister insists it's a human rights issue, saying MPs would act differently if the victims were white.
It's easy to turn a blind eye. It's easy to do so, precisely because these people are not white and effectively they're black and particularly African. That's the problem.
Parliament.
Let's update you now on a story that dominated headlines last week. The looting of foreign-owned shops in Soweto may have calmed down, but there were sporadic incidents in other areas of Gauteng, including Langlaagte and Attridgeville. Looting in the Eastern Cape made headlines as well. Migrant shop owners in Uitenhage shut up shop, afraid of being looted.
On the back of the Soweto riots, where hundreds of foreign-owned shops were looted, the police have warned all shop owners to close their doors in KwaNobuhle. Abari Katari opted to move his goods out of his shop under police protection, scared he may be attacked.
I didn't fret because of Easter, my brother shop rope, and after that, before Easter, one shop rope.
Down the road, Rahman Mohammed's shop was looted by a group of people. They managed to make off with a small amount of goods before the police arrived and stopped them. Instead of waiting for the looters to return, he decided to move his goods to the local police station until it's safe to return.
A lot of his stuff, he takes a lot of his stuff, so I don't know now. I can't count it because I'm busy now to take this stuff to town.
There will be a high police presence in the area until tensions subdue. There have been no arrests made so far. Sandy McCowan, KwaNobuhle, Uitenhage, Eastern Cape.
Let's head to the Northern Cape now, where 3 police officers were in court accused of robbing a foreign-owned shop last weekend. They appeared in court on Wednesday and have been remanded in custody until their bail hearing next month. Police are now investigating whether the 3 are linked to other robberies.
While other police officers support their family members, the 3 accused seem relaxed in the dock. But the charges they face are serious, allegedly robbing those they were meant to protect. 2 are constables. The 3rd, a warrant officer, can't be identified as he must still appear in an identity parade.
It is alleged that last week over the weekend, the 3 members visited a shop owned by a national foreigner in Khalishiwe. That is where they robbed him cash. When they did this, they were wearing full uniform in the full, public view.
While foreign shop owners in Kimberley say they're more accustomed to being targeted by locals, police believe this may not be an isolated incident.
Yes, the team is there working tirelessly to check if are there any cases that they can be linked with. But at this stage, it's only robbery.
The accused are expected back in court in February. Olkutsia, Kimberley.
While the seemingly xenophobic nature of the attacks made headlines, there was some encouraging news this week as well. The xenophobic violence of 2008 forced thousands of immigrants to leave their homes, especially in Denoon, a small community in the Western Cape. But it seems that many foreigners have returned and they are now living in peace with their South African neighbors.
It was very painful for us there. We lost a lot of things there, a lot of money, a lot of stuff, everything. The shop is empty. Some of shop also the breakdown, also the house, even the burn the house there, and it was very difficult time for us there.
There are more than 200 shops here in Denoon, and all of them, bar one, are run by immigrants from 23 countries from all over the world. In fact, they're the lifeblood of this community, and so leaders had to come up with a solution.
Macy Makue is a leader in the area. She got together with leaders from each ward and representatives from 23 countries living in Denoon and set up what's called the Forum. They meet once a week, exchange business ideas and sort out any disputes.
It's very better than now. It's very nice now. It's nothing wrong now.
The way I'm living with the people here in Denoon, I see it like it's a family, you understand? It's all about understanding them, going in together with them, do things with them.
Life is not perfect here. The shopkeepers have been victim to random crime, but nothing like the looting of 2008.
We are off one block, so we must change, because you can cut whoever comes from another country. The blood will look exactly like yours. That will never change.
Anna Larson, Denoon, Cape Town.
Still ahead, school transport in the spotlight in KwaZulu-Natal after two horrific accidents. Do stay with us.